I thought nothing else could top those two occasions. But today, with all of you here, sharing it with you all, I'm just having the day of my life. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the ladies who said to me, just enjoy it, take it slowly, really think about everything, and it's wonderful advice. And yeah, I never thought I'd actually be in this particular occasion in here, but it's been absolutely wonderful. Thank you to all you great, great people. As Matthew said, when we sort of did the wedding invite list, it was who would pay to come to Australia. And who would come around with a whole bunch of dreadful stories. It was more about how many people in a room that have been to our Christmas parties, our engagement parties, festivals at the Morgan's household, which are world famous. And how do you put these people in the room and make them get on? And Matthew just said, ply them with alcohol, get them drunk, will be fine. But a toast to you all. Thank you so much for coming. It's been absolutely wonderful, near and far. And I'm very sorry about my mum and your husband.
There's no correlation.
And a toast to you all. Thank you so much.
Products are best man speeches, and we're going to start off by thanking the groom for these kind toast to the bridesmaids. And also, I was going to say some greetings and well wishes I have to read out, but I only received one. So I've got the kids to write one as well.
What was it writing?
Oh yeah, that's what I told them. Greetings to the Isle of Man. Sorry we can't be with you, but we promise to come down once Rory gets an exam result or two. Shame you didn't come here instead, as I would have swung a work permit for you without going to these lengths. The Manx economy is still growing and quality people in the financial sector getting free. We'll see you next season for the payoff final at Wembley. Lots of love, Garth Lewis, Rory and Scholar, and the Isle of Man Tourist Board. To Matthew and Kirsten, I hope you have a lovely wedding and a nice time in Australia together. It's a shame it started raining, but I still wish I was there. He's 10. I said, what do you mean? He said, he'll make them all look out the window. To Uncle Matthew and Kirsten, I hope you have a lovely time in Australia and a nice wedding. I hope Uncle Matthew's snoring doesn't keep you awake. Mum said we can come and see you soon, from Jacob Teddyford. Right, the meat of the speech. Oh, by the way, yes, I've taken a photograph of Matthew in a compromising position to the bottom of all of the chairs. No, not where it is, it's here, I've got it. If anyone wants to see it afterwards, please let me know. No children though, and definitely not Kirsten. I'd like to give my thank you all for joining us in the Aviary today. It was quite something. I couldn't make it up. It was wonderful. Thanks for the effort. Potatoes was a nice touch. I'm confident there would have been more guests if we'd had more than 2 weeks' notice. I mean, what kind of way is that to arrange a wedding? Sydney's not just like a short drive away. It's not only was the slightly important matter of the date unclear, but also not entirely relevant matter of the country was pretty vague too. I honestly thought at one stage that you were going to throw darts as a blindfolded and left-handed into a map of the world, and we'd be sitting somewhere today dressed as Cossacks or Eskimos. Or worse, the dart could have landed in Las Vegas, and this would be a drive-through wedding. Matthew dressed as Elvis. A wedding breakfast of burgers. Do you know, they had a Greek theme night recently. Matthew was seriously grappling with the dilemma of how to light an Olympic flame at the bottom of his garden by firing a burning arrow from the dick. But here we are at last on this joyous and slightly mobile occasion to celebrate the wedding of Kirsten and Matthew, wife and man. But how, I hear you ask, how can this be? They were brought up 12,000 miles apart. There are 6 billion people on the planet. How on earth could they possibly find each other? Well, I'm glad you asked me that. The answer is fate. Not old Amersham village fate, as is commonly believed, but fate with an A. Destiny, if you please. They gravitated towards each other like Mills and Boone. Like Cloudy and Bay. A meeting of cultures, a meeting of minds, and this was the crunch, a meeting of eccentricities. There I was, comfortable in the knowledge that my little brother was unique in the world, and then lo and behold, up pops Kirsten. But this beautiful thing didn't happen entirely by accident, nor was it influenced in any way whatsoever by the urgent need for Matthew to obtain a residency permit. In a country without an extradition treaty with the UK. Matthew and Kirsten have worked very hard to get this far. Well, at least Kirsten has. England is cold in August, let alone in December, especially if you spent your whole life in the tropical Auckland climate. So, on her first visit, very early one crisp winter's morning, Matthew romantically whisked Kirsten straight from Heathrow to meet a few of his soulmates in a South London pub. The poor girl didn't speak. In fact, for the first 2 hours, I thought she was mute. Little did I appreciate just how wide of the mark I was. The next day, he had another treat to woo her planned. He took her to Fulham versus Watford, where hypothermia began to set in before half-time. Kirsten was as blue as a bottle of Blue Nun. Still, she didn't articulate. I can hazard a pretty good guess as to what she was thinking. Coincidentally, our thoughts were pretty negative too, but only because Watford lost 5-0. 4 of the goals were offside. The other one was a foul. But yet, bizarrely, Kirsten kept coming back for more. And that isn't true love. I don't know what is. Granted, true love bordering on insanity, but true love nevertheless. But Matthew too has suffered for the cause. The sacrifices that the poor boy has had to make will make you weep. He has let Kirsten drag him along to rugby matches, to horse racing, punk concerts, and more recently he gave up everything, including his job, to become a house husband in Australia. A house husband with a difference mind, a house husband without a house. Yes, poor Matthew had to walk the streets of Sydney at risk of attack from snakes and giant spiders, sharks and forest fires, visiting record shops and bars on the beach, spending Kirsten's money. I need to return to a spotless hotel room with clean towels and linen. Oh, how that boy has suffered. Fortunately for him, his painful ordeal recently came to an end when he accidentally got a job. In a bank. What's more remarkable, a bank with a psychometric testing as part of the interview process. Actually, finding a job anyway is pretty impressive, as is Kirsten's achievement of getting a transfer overseas, when her employer is cutting costs every which way. And their share price has fallen 80% in 10 months. Anyway, enough about work. I know Kirsten doesn't like to talk about it. She especially doesn't like to talk about her job after a couple of bottles of Jacob's Creek. No. I was asked to relate the story of a childhood trip to the seaside. Matthew was an angelic child, blonde hair, blue eyes, spindly legs, a bit like Bambi. Ate a lot of grapes. On a trip to Istanbul, much to his embarrassment, every girl who saw him came and patted him on the head. I wasn't jealous, but I decided to kill him. So back on our trip to the beach, I dug a deep hole and covered it with a towel, and then rested another towel on the sand alongside it. Hey Matthew, fancy having a headstand competition? That's your towel there. Up he trots, sweet trusting thing that he is, with an endearing hint of naivety that continues to this very day. Ready, steady, go, and into the sand duly plunged, caved in around him, leaving a pair of cocktail stick-sized legs slanting up into the air. Fortunately for Matthew, my parents saved him. Unfortunately for me, they didn't find it nearly as funny as I did.
You didn't mention what you did.
I tried filling it.
Filled it. That's too much detail. Small detail used there.
So, as was written in the stars, Matthew and Kirsten found each other, eventually. And after spending a lot of time together, they found they had lots of similar interests. You know, the usual kind of things. They both enjoy dancing around Christmas trees to the Wombles. They both like making human pyramids. They both enjoy having competitions to see who can visit the most stations on the London Underground at any given time. They're both big fans of impromptu gin tasting afternoons. They both punch the person nearest to them whenever they see a yellow car. They both harboured and subsequently realised ambitions to become property tycoons. Matthew was searching for the kind of person who would pay for him to learn the cello. Kirsten needed someone to help control faith. A perfect match. Love's youngish dream. Another thing they have in common, and from which we have all benefited, is their generosity to kinder, more generous, big-hearted, fun people you could not hope to meet. But my role as best man is not to be nice. It is to embarrass the groom.
Actually, that's not much left. What's the time? I've got 10 minutes. You've got another 9 minutes.
As long as you need.
Matthew once got his head stuck in a train door. Despite the whistle, there's a tube train, and the rumble of the door closing, he kept gazing out until clunk, his head was stuck first. He also once got thrown out of a football match by the Yorkshire Constabulary before kick-off. He lived in a country where the only vowel is the letter I for 15 years and has a more English accent than when he arrived. He often gets mistaken for a proclaimer. Despite that, he's lovely, and I'm sure Kirsten won't lament the decision. That's probably about it, really. I'd like to acknowledge my mum, and Faith has already been acknowledged, and your mum is not here anymore. She's not died. And George as well, but it's not well to acknowledge him, really. I haven't got anything to say about it. It is a great honour and pleasure to be here celebrating the marriage of two wonderful people. Only good can possibly come from this union. And I speak on behalf of everyone when I thank you for enriching our lives, for inviting us to your long overdue wedding in a field, and to inquire as to whether it's a free bar all evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the toast. Kirsten and Matthew. Kirsten and Matthew. Well done. If I could drink now.
Tom said,
Back chop, back.
Looks like that's on fire.
Got your video,